Good morning, dear students. How are you all? So in this video, we will talk about the chemical properties of bases. So as you know, dear students, first in every chemical properties, first of all, we actually talk about the action on litmus. Since it is easily available in the laboratory, so that's why we are actually talking about these litmus. Okay, now as you also know that there are two types of litmus: blue litmus, red litmus. So dear student, if I will take the example of the blue litmus paper, so that blue litmus paper will, if I will take blue litmus, here it is written blue litmus with base. If I will take in a beaker, one of the solution would be there, and that would be any base. If it is NaOH, KOH, COH all twice, any base in the aqueous solution if I will take, and if I will put that blue litmus paper into that one, it will not change its color. Here it is written, it will not change its color. Okay, now, but if I will take in the beaker, if I will take some basic compound in the aqueous solution, here is base. Okay, now if I will take base, and if I will put the red litmus paper into that one, immediately it will change into blue color. So we can say that we can actually detect the base by putting the red litmus into that beaker which contains basic solution into that one, and immediately it will turn into, red litmus will turn into blue, but blue litmus will not change its color, okay, na, into the basic solution. So okay, I hope you have understood action on litmus. Now you can see that blue litmus will not change its color, red litmus plus base is equal to blue, and here blue litmus plus base, no change would be there. Okay, na, dear students. Now we will talk about the reaction with indicator, and here you can see, as you know, there are two types of indicator we are talking about. Okay, now first one is phenolphthalein and phenolphthalein. Okay, now, and second one is methyl orange. Okay, so you can see, I will talk about these indicators, and I will see what would be the color changes with the base. Here you can see that bases change the phenolphthalein into pink color. So first of all, you have to understand what would be the original color of phenolphthalein. Colorless. Okay, now, so if I will take that colorless phenolphthalein indicator, and if I will put this into a conical flask which contains base, any base, if it is containing maybe NaOH, maybe COH all twice, KOH, LiOH. Okay, now if I will take that one, and if I will put one drop, this is actually, we can say, one drop changes. Okay, now, so if I will take that colorless indicator, and if I will put this into the basic solution, immediately it will change into the pink color. But what would be the action with the acidic solution? So in place of this base, if I will take in this one, acidic solution, here this is a conical flask, and here I have taken acidic solution. You can see I have written acidic solution here, and if I will put one drop or two drop of phenolphthalein into this one, that color of the acid will not change in any color. So I can say that bases change the phenolphthalein, okay, into pink color. Okay, but in acid the phenolphthalein will not change its color. Okay, now, so second you can think methyl orange, as its neutral color is orange only. In acidic medium it will change into the yellow. But you have to understand about the basic. Dear students, methyl orange becomes yellow in basic solution. Here it would be basic solution. Okay na? Basic solution, it will change into yellow color. But into the acidic solution, methyl orange, from orange it will change into the red color. It will change into the red color. So you have to note down this one. Yellow color into the basic solution, acidic would be in red. Acidic solution will change into red color. So you can understand that one. Now the reaction with metals, and here you can see I have taken Zn Al, okay na. And if I will take strong alkalis, here I am actually going, you can see this one, some of the strong alkalis react with a few metal, and that one is zinc and aluminium, and that will give you actually salt and hydrogen gas. So I will show you, this one is the displacement reaction, and here you can see this one, I am actually telling you Zn plus NaOH. NaOH is a strong alkali. What it can form? It can form sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2, okay na, plus hydrogen gas. So you can see only zinc and aluminium can react strong alkali, and it can give sodium zincate. Yes, this one is a compound sodium zincate plus hydrogen gas. Okay now, second you can see here, dear student, aluminium and NaOH with water. Aluminium, here I will write aluminium, this one is aluminium with NaOH plus water, aqueous solution of this one, and after arrow you can actually write NaAlO2 plus this 3H2. Okay now, so you can see everywhere these are some of the elements actually react with a strong alkali. Okay na, strong alkalis. Rest many of the metals does not react with strong alkalis to form sodium zincate and so on. This one is called as a sodium aluminate. This one is sodium aluminate. This one is sodium zincate. Okay na, so you can see this one. Now the next thing we will talk about, and that one is reaction with non-metal oxide. Dear student, non-metal oxide means I can take carbon dioxide, I can take sulfur dioxide. Okay now, this one is non-metal oxide. Non-metal means carbon is non-metal, sulfur is non-metal. So this one is non-metal oxide, and here we will talk about this one. Okay now, so now you can see next one, when non-metal, see what does it mean when non-metal oxide. If I will take non-metal oxide, any example, carbon dioxide reacted with base NaOH, then salts and water are formed. You can see this is an example of neutralization reaction. How we will talk about that one, you can see one of the example I have taken, the calcium hydroxide and carbon dioxide reaction. I will show you here. Calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice plus CO2. This one is non-metal oxide. What you have read in that one, it forms salt and water. So CaCO3 plus water. One reaction you have understood. It is clear. Now second reaction, CaOH CaOH whole twice, calcium hydroxide plus acidic oxide, non-metal oxide, it will give salt. This one is salt and water. Okay now, so in this you can see and you can understand this one is a neutralization reaction also, because neutral product had formed. What is the neutralization reaction? What is the definition of neutralization reaction? When a base reacts with acid. Now you can say this one is acid. Yes, dear student, this one is acidic. Yes, okay now. So base plus acid, it will give neutral compound plus water. It is called as a neutralization reaction. So here it is written, it is a neutralization reaction. Now next one, the reaction between potassium hydroxide and carbon dioxide. And dear student, here you can see reaction between potassium hydroxide and CO2. What it will form? K2CO3 plus H2O. Now you can balance by yourself, dear student. So this is the reaction between potassium hydroxide and carbon dioxide to form potassium carbonate and water. Yet again, it is a neutralization reaction, and non-metal oxide reacts with bases, then salts and water has formed in that cases. Now, if I will make here reaction with acid, reaction with acid is a neutralization reaction. If I will take any of the base, calcium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, and if I will react it with acid, then every time it would be the neutralization reaction. Okay na? So I am actually writing the chemical reaction. Here you can see it is written, when the base reacts with acid, the salt and water are formed, and every time it is exothermic reaction, as it will release lots of amount of heat in that case. Okay, so here I will write the reaction. Base I have NaOH, okay na, and I will react it with acid in a beaker. I have taken one beaker, I have taken here, this one is NaOH, and I have added some amount of HCl with the help of test tube, and what it will form? It will form NaCl plus H2O. So this one is a neutralization reaction. When base react with acid, then salt and water formed. This one is a neutralization reaction. So you can say this is highly exothermic reaction, as we can say sodium hydroxide is also a strong base and HCl is also a strong acid. So the reaction between these two will every time form high amount of heat. So it would be a case of highly exothermic reaction, and here is that same example. Okay na dear student, so I hope that you will take lots of example, you will solve that one. Okay na, take magnesium hydroxide plus HCl, calcium hydroxide plus HCl, lithium hydroxide plus HCl plus H2SO4 you can also take instead of HCl. So that will help you a lot. Okay na, so you can read that one, you can understand. Okay, so chemical properties is over. Thank you for the video. Thank you all of you.